Bitcoin drops beneath $20,000 first time this month. We're going to go into why we were anticipating this drop, as well as what do we expect Bitcoin to do moving forward. So looking here at Bitcoin, our anticipation was a break of this counter trend line. If you go back in our videos, that's what we've been waiting for, this final touch to break and clear this counter trend line, and that happened. And looking here, the why behind that, just so you guys can know, is we were looking at this pullback that happened in May. Those two touches, we circled the touches. One touch was May 11th. The second touch was May 27th. The third touch broke. So we had the same thing happen here, with the one touch being June 18th, the second touch being July 13th, and now finally breaking and clearing our counter trend line. So that's what we were waiting for. Now, a lot of people were afraid to call Bitcoin making new lows, especially after we got up to almost 25,000. So this entire range, you know, people got bullish. People were saying, oh, Ethereum went to 2,000. You know, Bitcoin was almost at, almost at 25,000. So people were really getting antsy, saying, oh, that was the bottom. And FOMO started to set in. So now I told you what typically happens when that happens. People start buying in for FOMO. And when this pullback, this final leg comes, people usually sell at a loss and never enter the crypto space again. So that's set to happen as we're making new lows, and people were talking about, the why behind it. I know that, the Jerome Powell, when he talks about, ready to bring some pain to households and businesses and saying that these are unfortunate costs of reducing inflation, I truly believe that that is a strategic move to get the price down and get people to sell at losses. Like, I understand that happened and that news was broken, but looking at the technicals, it was going to happen either way. Whether he made that announcement or not, Bitcoin was pulling back regardless. And now, massive selling pressure happens as a result of that. I just think it's all manipulated in some regard when we talk about, Jerome Powell making that announcement and then the pullback. The pullback was going to happen either way. So, yes, I think there is manipulation, but at the same time, I do think that, sometimes price action is going to happen regardless. So, but that's not taking, I'm not taking back saying that there isn't manipulation. I definitely think there is. I definitely think that Jerome Powell knows exactly what he's saying or going to say and what the market is going to react to that statement. Like, I truly believe that, but I truly believe that they want us to sell at losses so they can buy in. Like, this is just a temporary ploy to get the prices down enough so they can buy more, and the average people like me and you aren't able to buy any, right? There's a reason why that stat is out that says most people in the world won't have 0.28 Bitcoin. There's a reason why, because it's going to reach a point where people won't even be able to afford it. Having one Bitcoin won't even be in the question for people. So definitely take a look at that and, be mindful of that, because, looking at the price action, the drop was going to happen regardless. And, when Jerome Powell made that statement, it plunged down and it was about $1,000, like immediately, like it plunged down. If we look at the daily, like yesterday, it was just a huge bear candle. And that happened across all markets, but I really think that all is strategic, okay? And I think manipulation is there, despite it going to happen anyway. A reason for a massive push down quick comes when he makes that statement, and they know that. But going back to the technicals, I went off on a little tangent. Going back to the technicals, we're looking here. Where do we go from here? I know you guys are, messaging me, wanting me to tell you where do we go from here. What are our thoughts about the price action of Bitcoin, price action of Ethereum? Let's dive in. So looking here at the daily time frame, we're going to clear this. The next stop of level of support is 19,000. We want to be technical, exact. I would say we need to clear 19,000 even. Let's just say 19,000 even. Need to clear that level. The next level for that, there's nothing left. The next level for that is 17.5. So 19,000 and 17.5 need to be cleared in order to make the new lows that we're anticipating. So right here would be one, and we can make this a different color so you can see. Right here would be one, and then another one would be right below it. These two levels of support need to be cleared. Bitcoin needs to clear that in order for us to make new lows. Those are two levels of support, not significantly major levels, but definitely levels nonetheless that we need to clear. Now, I do think we're going to blow past that. I do anticipate blowing past that and making a new low past 17,000. So the reason why you hear these numbers about 10,000, I've heard 8,000, I've heard 12,000, is because they're measuring and getting a gauge on this last leg. So looking at this last leg and how far it went, they're measuring this leg, pulling it to the new high and measuring it from there. So this is, if we measure that, wick for wick, you're looking at about 11.5 wick for wick. And that's if everything goes perfectly. And we're actually sticking to a range. I don't want to go to an exact price point, even though I did have $17,000 price point last time in our technical videos for this first drop that happened back in early June. This drop, I'm gonna give a range. I think that, and based off the technicals, I think that this last drop, this final leg, because I think it's 3 phases, right? We have this leg right here, this initial drop, which was, we can kind of measure this. Initial drop would be here to here, pull back, another drop here, pull back, one last drop would be here. So I think this final drop will be anywhere from, I want to say 12 to 14. That's going to be my call. I don't really want to give a number at this point. I don't want to be one of those guys trying to guess the bottom, but I do think 12 to 14 is really what we're looking at. And it's really what we're looking for when we look at our technicals. Going to Ethereum chart, same thing. It broke a level of support, didn't break our counter trend line yet. The major one there is about 1200 would be that level that we need to see broken again for us to go back to. And then, after 1200, we need to go back to under $1,000. So really 2 levels there as well that we're paying attention to. It broke that support that we were waiting for. So now we're actually going here, this level, and then using that and going to this level. So those 2 levels are what needs to be broken, as well as our counter trend line as well. I do think that's going to happen. I do think there was a lot of hype with the ETH merge, but I don't necessarily think that's going to save the overall price action of Ethereum at this time. I just don't think it has the power to really catapult the entire market. So as much as I would love that, I just think the time for that was back when they initially said they were going to roll it out. But since that didn't happen, it kind of, lost its oomph per se. So that's what we're waiting for. I definitely think that this is possible, but I think more so that break in Bitcoin at $20,000 level was just a confirmation that the drop's coming. So everyone, started changing their position, saying, oh, there's a 20% chance it's not the bottom. There's a 90% chance that, there's more to come. I just think it's like, it's coming, guys. It's okay to be wrong, but it's coming. Just making a stance and seeing what the price action is doing. And a lot of people started changing their tune when Bitcoin almost hit 25. It just wasn't going to happen. Like it was a huge fake out, and it faked out people, and now people are in the hole, and now they have a decision to sell the loss or just hold. So if you're dollar cost averaging, it doesn't matter. But if you sell a loss and just hold, some people got in because they thought they were going to miss out, and the FOMO set in. So that's our price action, our price analysis for what we see Bitcoin doing. You guys saw us. We've been calling the drop the entire time, but really, I think now that 12 to 14K range, I'm very confident that that's going to happen. So I think it's going to shake out a lot of people, but I definitely think it's going to be a positive thing to get in at low prices once again. So hope you got some value out of this video. Comment your thoughts, like, subscribe, comment your thoughts, and tell me, what's your price prediction for Bitcoin. Keep moving forward in everything that you do, and we'll see you soon.